that's kind of the expectation you just laid out. And now we're going to get into a little bit of the reality of what happens now, because obviously optimal is one thing, but reality is another. So I'm just going to run through like some of the common problems that most people will run into at some point. And I don't really have a question. So I think I'm just going to let you freewheel on the topic and just see what you say about it.
Yeah.
So the first one is having a parent coach and the claims of favoritism among the players on the team. So that would be the first issue. I don't really have a question. You can kind of just, let's talk about it and see what happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, expectations, right? Expectations is that you have a good coach, preferably a non-parent coach. Preferably, that's always the question. And being fair, or what's the other word? Not fair, but not firm either. But no, I've used this before. It's fair as being. Oh, what's my sentence?
I don't know, I'm trying to help. I don't know.
Yeah, no, okay. Well, it's just because people have a different idea what fair is.
Like equal versus
fair versus equal. That's exactly what. Yeah. So in an ideal world, see, but you got to be very careful here, right? Everyone has a different interpretation of which fair is and what equal is.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a different interpretation of what a good coach is and stuff. So in an ideal world, yes, you would like someone that is a non-parent coach. Okay, great. You would like to have fair, equal, however you want to say it. Would you, whatever you determine that there's no favoritism? Is that the word that we used? Yeah.
No favoritism.
That's in a perfect world, yes. In reality, not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna if you get everything perfect, that's great. So there's, especially at younger ages, you're going to get a lot of parents coaching because that's just the way it goes.
That's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. So number one, thank you for coaching.
Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you for coaching because I don't want to do it. Right. Number two, that coach may have some favoritism towards his kid, probably. Although I had a consult the other day with a guy, and he goes, I just feel like I'm harder on my kid. And I said, yeah, when I did it with my kid, it was the same thing. I used to pull him aside and said, listen, when I give you shit, it's for everybody. But if I don't use you for an example, then everybody thinks that you're getting away with something or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, my point to that is, the thank you for coaching if it's your kid. Now, there are some people that coach strictly because they want to take care of their kids. And I've seen this. I know someone who's actually kind of close that is can't let his kid go. I've seen this a lot. Cannot let anybody else touch their kid on the ice, in the gym. You know, they always have to have their hands on them and make sure that it's nothing's ever good enough unless it's my kid. I'm doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that part of it is, I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. So you kind of have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. And the favoritism part.
I want to talk about this because
See, I'm not negative about it though, right?
Okay.
I feel you have a negative tone about it.
No. I think people have a negative tone about it, and I'm not saying that they don't have a point. Like favoritism is annoying, but even as somebody who's not a parent coach, I like certain kids more than others. And that's just the reality of being a coach.
Yeah.
There's certain kids I like more than other kids. There's certain kids
why?
Because some kids do things better than other kids.
And why?
There's a million things.
Yeah,
right?
And you like some kids because they do everything that you would expect.
Exactly.
They deserve a little bit more.
So this is my point about the favoritism thing, right? It's like, okay, favoritism when it's just like blatant for no reason is annoying. I got that. But the reality is that, and everyone, I don't care what parent you are, you do this too with other kids, because this is just how humans are. There's certain kids that you like, and there's certain kids that you just don't like, and that is just, and they might be a good kid, and they just rub you the wrong way, and you don't like them. That's just how it goes. So, as the parents, from what you should be expecting, whether it's a parent coach or not, is like favoritism is part of the deal. When you're the one that's on the shit end of it, it's like that sucks. I get that, but you know that these are the kinds of things that happen. I've had coaches where I was their favorite. I've had coaches where I thought we were going to get in a fist fight because some of them just didn't like me. They don't like my personality. I got a big mouth. I talk loud. I'm very passionate. I'm opinionated, and maybe somebody doesn't like that. Whereas other coaches would be like, man, this kid, he's got his shit together. I like how he talks. So it's a preference thing, you know? So when it comes to the favoritism stuff, it's unreasonable for you as the parent to not expect that to a certain degree, right? And so whether and it's even like if there's a parent coach, their kid's on the team, and their kid has a couple best buddies on the team. Like, should you be mad that he prefers those kids that are close with his kid? It's like you do the same thing. It's like you want them to be impartial and stuff. And I'm not excusing situations where coaches are doing that. I'm not giving them the excuse. But it's like, as the parents, like, did you not expect that to be part of it? It's like that's just built into the fabric. If there's certain kids that hang out with their kid, no matter what they do, they're not going to be able to separate that.
Some can, but not like, yeah, that's totally, I get it.
So just to be clear,
yeah.
my point is not saying that favoritism is fine and just deal with it and shut your mouth. My point is just expect some of that to be there, because that's just how humans are. So instead of like freaking out and getting into like the ultra negative coach is an idiot conversation, it's just like, this is just humans doing this, man, and it's just part of what happens. And that's where like having conversations with your coach and stuff can start to help you deal with some of that, as if it is affecting you and it's that much of a problem.
Yeah.
Is that fair what I'm saying?
No, dude, I that's what I'm saying. I'm not negative about it, but like, because here's my actual thoughts. Like, I'm talking for me and my kid, or me, right? It's like, sometimes, son, you ain't gonna be in someone's good books, or someone's got it out for you, and you have to figure out how to deal with it. Like, it's not always bad. That's what I'm saying. It's not negative all the time. You learn, man. You learn. That's the way you have to go through it, is you got to learn. And sometimes it's not fair, I don't think, that a 8-year-old might have to learn a lesson that, whatever the treatment is. But sometimes it's better to learn it early than later, because it's going to happen at some point. Not everybody's going to like you. There is bullshit in the world, right? And there's one right there. Your coach is there only for his kid or his little buddies, and he doesn't give two rips about you, but it's a good lesson to learn. Not one that I want kids to learn at 8, but it's there 100%. And you know what? Like, and then the other side is like, expect that shit to happen, and then the resolution of that is you could coach yourself, right? And I'm not saying that flippantly. Like, if you really are concerned, coach yourself, or help find or help out in some way with the team. So whatever.
Yeah, and it's harder than it seems. That's the other part too, on the coach's side. And again, like, this is not in any way excusing bad behavior as a coach, but from just on the parent side, so you don't drive yourself nuts. It's like,
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, man.
Or it doesn't.
Yeah, or it doesn't.
And it doesn't. That's great, but you can expect
that to happen.
I mean, that's the way life works, man.
Yeah. So